The risk of conflict in Ukraine, a Russian invasion. If that does happen, you're worried it could impact Asian monetary policy as well as the strength of Asian currencies. Connect the dots and explain.
Yeah, in a sense, right, obviously, first of all, is that what's going on in Russia and Ukraine is still very fluid. We don't know what would be the final outcome of it. But in case really a war does break out, and then there will be sanctions on Russia, which is like third largest energy producer in the world, then it is likely to actually send the world's energy prices to a higher level. And that would stress on the inflation in this part of regions for Asia. And also on the trade balances, it would actually pressure the trade balances and possibly widening the current account deficits of some economies, let's say for India, Indonesia, and the Philippines. And this is the current concern that I have. With a weaker external balances, then some of these Asian economies at the background of a hawkish tilt by the Fed possibly may see greater than expected pressure on the FX side. And that would be a negative to the market sentiment. And in the sense that I'm concerned whether that would cause a reactions for the Asian central banks to actually to normalize their policy rates at a faster than expected pace, which is not currently expected by the market at this time as well.
Okay. Christiaan, how vulnerable is China looking, and where are you putting headline growth for this year?
I think for this year, it is likely to see about 5 to 5.5%. I think for China, they have the tools to really manage their growth pace. And if going into the March MPC, the authority does set the growth target at that level, they are able to achieve that. But obviously, they would need a lot of lever, right, on the fiscal side and also the monetary policy side. And that's why we are expecting more monetary policy easing, RR cuts or policy rate cuts. All these are on the table. And on the fiscal side, we all know that the government has already front-loaded the infrastructure investment projects and front-loaded the issuance, local government special bonds issuance. And that should help to boost the infrastructure side to pull up the economic growth going forward. And hopefully from that, in conjunction with more policy and regulatory relaxations on the property sector, hopefully that the sector can stabilize and also can stimulate the private sector confidence on the economy to in order to achieve the growth target that the government set to achieve for this year.